today's video, I decided to host a dinosaur tournament where I put the species of JWE3 to the test and tested their strength, speed, and intelligence. Who will win the tournament and who will fall? Well, if we want to answer that, let's start with the first arena. Welcome, ladies and gentlesaurs, to the Trial of the Intelligent. This part of the tournament is a maze testing out dinosaurs' intelligence. There is also a secret spot on the map where dinosaurs can get a free win, and only 4 dinosaurs will be able to qualify for this round. So let's meet our contestants, shall we? For the Trial of the Intelligent, we have the absolutely massive Patagotitan and the hybrid Spinoceratops Taylor. We also have the Lokiceratops, Ruby the Utahraptor, and Sophia and Bob the Deinonychus. Anyways, I decided to start the Trial of the Intelligent, meaning the dinosaurs would now have to use their intelligence to find the winning to qualify for the final arena. I decided to show our players the location they were supposed to go to, and with that, the round could actually start. After the round had started, I found a bunch of our competitors all kind of just hanging out, which was actually kind of peaceful for once. Also, back at the start, many of our competitors were pretty confused on where they were supposed to go and didn't know how to qualify for the final round. I then found a Nodosaurus just kinda chilling in the start. So yeah, she was probably not gonna make it. I then found Ruby just taking a nap. Yeah, she was pretty lazy, but she would have to be careful as Dippy the Diplodocus and Brian the Patagotitan were getting closer, and so she would be careful not to get stepped on. Sophia had gotten curious and bored of the dinosaur tea party and had actually found the secret winning area. This means she would be the first dinosaur to qualify for the final round through the special area. Many of our dinosaurs were extremely eager to win, as I found a Lokiceratops running towards the winning zone, but it had the size of it probably had the brain size of Mr. Bean and barely just missed it. After that, I found Dippy was actually probably gonna make it, but he had 0 brain cells and just barely missed it, similar to the Lokiceratops. Decided to place water in the winning zone and turn no dehydration off to encourage our dinosaurs to go into the winning zone. Eventually, the first qualifier had entered the win zone. A Lokiceratops had qualified, but she wasn't alone, as Taylor the Spinoceratops and a Protoceratops had also qualified, leaving 1 winner spot left, and it could be anyone's game now. Brian, thirsty and tired, was about to make it, but someone was following him. It can be anyone's game now. But then, in a turn of events, a sneaky Pachycephalosaurus had qualified, making him the final winner. These couple of contestants have successfully qualified, but for the others, they have failed this trial. Before we go on to the next trial, I just want to say we had great contestants such as Dippy, Ruby, and Bob, who unfortunately got separated from Sophia, leaving Sophia all on her own. Alright, welcome ladies and gentlesaurs to the Trial of the Swift. This one is simple, a race. This is a trial that will test dinosaurs' speed, and there are 4 different biomes. A small grasslands biome with a huge ramp, a desert full of desert rocks to block our contestants, and cactus that can wound our contestants as well. But then there's the swamp full of mud that could trip our contestants, and holes they could fall into. plus murky water that could have things possibly laying below. And this time, there can only be 3 winners. So let's see who can win. Before we start the trial of the Swift, we have contestants such as the Dreadnoughtus, the quick and deadly Herrerasaurus, and Burger King the Wanlong. Get it? Because Wanlong means crown dragon. Okay, I am so sorry for that. We also have contestants such as Hunter the Carnotaurus, and he is ready to hunt, and he's excited to start this round. But we also have a deadly army of compies.
Do not underestimate them. They will be in your sleep.
After that, I assisted our dinosaurs with getting started with the round, as they would have to get over a absolutely massive hill. So they would all need to hurry if they wanted to be qualified. Everyone was eager to win this round, but currently in the lead was a Orphomimus named Fluffy, who I absolutely adored. But soon everyone caught up. They weren't alone though, as Hunter was coming in close, ready to win this round. Eventually, everyone started making their way down the mountain, but had to be careful of all the fallen trees and logs so that they didn't, crash into them or fall over. Some of our contestants, such as Fluffy and Hunter the Carnotaurus and a couple others, were making their way through the desert, so they would have to be careful of the desert rocks and cacti. Hunter made his way through the desert biome, as he loved the desert and felt right at home in the desert biome. Some of the contestants were still in the grassland mountain, as a Dreadnoughtus and Maiasaura and a couple others were still far behind and would need to hurry up. Eventually, Fluffy outsmarted everyone and had made her way into the swamp biome and would have to be careful of the muddy canyons. Some of the other contestants were making their way into the swamp biome and had success, and a Phystocosaurus had made its way into the swamp biome. The little guy wasn't alone, as Hunter and the Albertosaurus had also joined in. Even one of the compies was almost in the swamp biome, just being lazy. A lone Troodon had gotten curious and actually went into the special wing zone, qualifying it for the final round. 4 dinosaurs had made their way to the gates of the winning zone. A Gallimimus, Fluffy the Orphomimus, Albertosaurus, and a Maiasaura. Similar to the first round, I turned no dehydration off and put some water to convince our challengers to go in the winning zone. Eventually, the first winner was discovered as a Maiasaura, who was thirsty and went into the winner zone for a drink. The Maiasaur was then followed by a Gallimimus, who was also thirsty and was looking for a drink. Eventually, the final qualifier had came in. It was the Albertosaurus, who I named Alexander eventually. Before the trial of the Swift ends, let's just take a look at some of our fighters, like Fluffy, who tried her very best and almost made it, and Hunter, who was a really good competitor and could have made it. And then there's Burger King, and yeah, he pretty much did nothing. Moving on to the next trial. Welcome to the final trial before the final arena. Introducing the Trial of the Mighty. This will put some of the most strongest dinosaurs in one arena that has 4 main biomes: a beautiful forest, a roofless desert, and a mountains biome, and a swampy swamp. And there can only be 2 qualifiers, so let's hop straight into it, shall we? For this round, we have dinosaurs such as the Giganotosaurus, but also the semi-aquatic predator Suchomimus, and of course, the king of the dinosaurs itself, the T-Rex. But this T-Rex has a name, so meet Bruce. Even with all these deadly competitors, there was still one more. One that wouldn't rest until every single competitor was dead. This was the deadly and poisonous With poisonous quills, she would be a deadly foe, so meet Shadow the Scorpius Rex. Eventually, it was time for the trial of the mighty to start, and a Spiroraptor had already decided to pick a fight with baby Tyrannus in the desert lion. Meanwhile, in the swamp biome, Shadow had decided to pick a fight with the Apatosaurus, so they would fight, possibly to the death. Eventually, Shadow was weak and had to run away from the fight to recover from her wounds.
I mean, at least the time.
Decided to challenge the Apatosaurus, and they both got in a fight. Their battle would shake the earth. wind down, so I decided to take every single species that was left and input them in the final arena. Anyways, speaking of the final arena, it's time for the final arena. Welcome to the final arena. This will put all of our past winners in one enclosure for them to fight to death and will not end until one fighter remains. And there will be some special guests, and the prize is that they will return in a future Jurassic World Evolution free video. Anyways, for the first batch of special guests, we have Sally the Ankylosaurus and Diego the Dimetrodon. With claws and teeth ready to tear her opponents to shreds, meet our newest villain, Snowflake the Indoraptor. Snowflake isn't alone because the skies will be terrorized by our duo of Quetzalcoatlus, Ash and Leo. Anyways, once the final arena started, chaos was unleashed.
And you don't need any angry dinosaurs, okay?
This increases the difficulty of the final arena. Eventually, even more will start to appear with rocks inside them. But whoa, that's nothing compared to what's gonna happen later. You'll see that. Eventually, the hole was getting worse and worse as the terrain started to collapse, even causing the water source to be dropped to the bottom of the arena. Eventually, the arena had become a crumbled wasteland, with the terrain collapsed at every single corner, including dead bodies everywhere. Rest in peace, Sophia. Rest now with Mom. Eventually, Snowflake decided to pick a fight with Hero, the Triceratops, the Stegoceratops that defeated Bruce, the T-Rex. This could possibly be a fight to the death. For the first time, Snowflake felt fear and she actually started to panic and run away. Hero even made her run into a canyon. All of a sudden, Menace actually challenged Snowflake and a miracle happened. Menace actually defeated Snowflake. This can be anyone's game now. Now that Snowflake and the Allosaurus are dead, we have 3 challengers left. Hero the Stegoceratops, Menace the Changosaurus, and a Suchomimus. Who will win? Eventually, after countless battles with Hero, the Suchomimus couldn't recover from its wounds and had its last breath. And with that, ladies and gentlesaurs, Hero is the winner, and even some of the small carnivores came out to celebrate. And with this, Hero and the other small carnivores are the winners of the final arena, and will be in future Jurassic World Evolution free videos. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, the tournament comes to an end. If you made it this far and enjoyed the video, consider subscribing and hitting that like button, because this was a roller coaster of emotions for me. It was probably one of my favorite videos to work on. Anyways, make sure to smash that subscribe button, like the video, and turn notifications on. I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye, guys.